Jimi Jamison,
Exactly.
how's it going with you these days? Working in with projects?
Oh yeah, man. I've got working on a couple of projects. One with Billy Gibbons on his solo CD, and then one with ZZ Top on their new CD that's going to be coming out pretty soon. And I just finished up a duet CD with Bobby Kimball of Toto,
Hmm.
and getting ready to start a solo CD. Staying pretty busy.
Now with this, there's no days off for Jimi Jamison.
Oh, well, there's always days off. You know, you don't work every day. When you're a musician, you got to sit around. But you know, you're always trying to come up with ideas and stuff. I was just trying to come up with an idea just a minute ago for a song.
And how did the idea come out or come around?
Well, I've got three sections of it. I just have to find another section. I've got a chorus and a verse and a bridge. So just a little bit more to go.
For recording, like, do you do it all at your home now?
Well, I hardly ever record at home. This is the first time I've recorded anything at home in a long time. I usually go to a studio,
Okay.
either Ardent or Young Avenue Sound, somewhere around town here.
Nowadays with the internet, you can co-write songs, let's say online, easier
Oh
than in
yeah,
the past.
exactly. I get songs sent to me all the time, you know, and I take them to the studio. I take the files to the studio, and we put it on the machine, and I do it there at the studio because their equipment's much better than mine. And I'm a dummy when it comes to recording equipment. I'm stuck in analog time, you know, the tape time in the old days. And the digital, I haven't figured out the Pro Tools and all that kind of stuff, you know, the digital recording thing, because it takes so long to do it. It takes away from the creativity of the song, you know. It just gets in the way, so I just let somebody else do it.
And you're going to be touring soon, I see on your website.
Yeah, we're going to be we're going to be going overseas quite a bit this year, I think. We're going to be doing lots of shows in the States too, also, and I got actually going to Trinidad pretty soon in May, I believe. Play a big show over there with Richard Marx and Michael Bolton and Rick Springfield.
How's it, in this day of age, compared to back, in the 80s of touring? Has it changed much in your eyes?
Man, it's a lot more fun now. You know, back in the old days, it was like strictly business, but now it's like all the bands, all the singers, and all the bands have gotten a little bit older, and we look at it like, hey, if you can't have fun with it, why even do it? So you know, we have a blast with it, and it turns out better. It's better now, actually. I mean, the tours aren't quite as big. You don't have semi trucks filling with your equipment in it hardly anymore, unless you're U2.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as touring and playing shows, playing good shows, I mean, it would play about the same shows. It's just a lot more fun to me.
I got something for you. Let's say in like the years of Rocky IV with the Burning Heart song, do you recall much of the studio production and how big it was gonna be, this song?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same on every song. You know, on this one they tried to come up with another Eye of the Tiger, though. You know, and it almost made it, but it's a different type song. You know, there's only one Eye of the Tiger and one Burning Heart, and he loved Sylvester Stallone loved both of them. So we tried to come up with something that would fit the movie. You know, that's the same way they did it with Eye of the Tiger.
And your voice is like immortalized in this now.
That movie, yeah, it's the world's biggest video, isn't it? I guess it'll be seen for quite a long time. The song, I had another song in another Sylvester Stallone movie called Lockup. That there was only two songs in the whole movie. The one I did, Ever Since the World Began, and the one that Jim Peter did, Vehicle.
And how did those ones turn out?
Oh, they turned out great. They were killer. Ever Since the World Began is one of the great songs, man. And of course, you're probably familiar with Vehicle. I'm your vehicle, baby. You know, it's been around forever.
Let's say for a song like that, when you make it, do you foresee that it's gonna be big?
Oh no, not at all. I got snowed in over in Germany recently, and my manager and myself and a guitar player from the band I was playing with over there went to the studio and wrote and recorded a song called "The Restless Kind," and just as a lark, you know, and so we mixed and everything, and the guitar player sent it off to these radio stations in Berlin and everywhere, and they started playing it, and I thought we wrote it kind of as a commercial, hoping Volkswagen would use it for their new line of cars coming out, and and they started playing this thing, and now it's like #1 in Berlin. It's like #9 in UK, and #8 in Munich. It's weird. I never thought it was. I never even considered it really a song. I thought it was more of a commercial.
Another thing too, you're aligned with Frontiers Records.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been with Frontier Records for a long time. Since I did a solo record with them before I got back with Survivor in 2000, and then in 2006, Frank Sullivan and myself, who were the last remaining members of Survivor, did a record for Frontiers in 2006, the last Survivor record done. And after that, I did another solo record for them, and I'm working on another one now.
They like take out of rarities also, and they start publishing these bands again to promote today. It's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I tell you what, I think it's a great record label. It gives a lot of people opportunities to go record it. They sign Styx, they sign Toto, Journey. It gives bands that have great songs that have no outlet to get them out to the people, and an outlet.
Because the outlet has totally changed. What do you think of that? The internet age.
Well, it's it's good and it's bad, but it's bad. It's more good than bad. A lot of more bands get the opportunity to put their music, out there and get it heard. The only bad thing is it's hard to get heard above all the other noise that's out there. There's a lot of music out there, and people are spreading themselves thin and trying to listen to all of it, and you'll never be able to listen to all of it. And but if you can somehow work, it's all about self-promotion now. You promote yourself, you get your songs out there, so as many people that can hear it, and that's how you do it these days. To get big, you still have to have a major record deal, and there's not many of those left. But most of the major labels let the indie labels sign the bands and tweak them till they like them. Then the big record companies will take them over from the independent labels. But it's all about self-promotion these days.
Going to Survivor again, is there any unreleased tracks from your era?
Sure, there's a bunch of them. I don't remember what the names of many of them are right now, but I have them on CDs sitting on my shelf here. Songs that we didn't use, Yeah, there's always songs you don't use on a record,
And when will these be released?
I don't know. They may not be released. Some of them have already been released that we didn't use before. And actually, on my solo record, we donated the songs that weren't used to help melodicrock.com stay in business over in Australia. So because they put a lot of information out there for people and for musicians, and so we donated. It's called a CD called Extra Moments, because it came off of it was what was left over from my Crossroads Moment CD that I did just a while back for Frontiers. It's donated, and they get all the profits from that.
That's a very good thing you did there.
Well, hey, you got to keep it going, You got to keep things going, or we'll all be stuck. That website is really a big deal. It's called melodicrock.com, and it has so much information. It promotes so many bands. We couldn't let it go fold under. Just took our songs and just put them on a CD and gave them to them. Also, Kelly Keagy from Night Ranger did the same thing with us.
Because today it's not like the magazines are in power. It's internet that's taken over.
Yeah.
And, all these websites also need means of making money, but they can't make money for some reason sometimes.
Exactly. That's why we tried to help melodicrock.com out, because we have to have those guys around. In Europe, the magazines are really a big deal. They still rely a lot on not only internet, but in magazines. They'll get their information from those. But to get in the magazines, you got to be on the internet. So it all boils back down to the internet.
Yeah, the famous internet of today. Will there ever be a Survivor reunion with you again?
I don't know. It's anything's possible, but it's hard to say right now. I have no idea. It's possible. It's not probable, but it was possible.
At least when we get your products as a solo artist, we still get the same voice.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes the same, the same type of music, especially on my last CD. Because it was Jim Peterk and myself. Jim Peterk being the keyboard player that played with Survivor and the main songwriter. So he and I did my last CD. So it's pretty much, it was probably, I guess you could call it should have been called the next Survivor record, but it was a little bit different. But it still had that twang to it,
The Survivor twang with Jimi Jamison.
Yeah, exactly.
What's in your record collection that you get inspiration on to write music?
There's a lot of old music in my collection. Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and there's some new stuff too. Like there's a new band out called I can't remember the girl's name. Something in the Nocturnals, and Grace something in the Nocturnals, but I can't remember her name. But anyway, it's a new band, and they rock. And there's a lot of great new bands out there that sound killer. And of course, I always revert back to the old stuff too, though. For my real inspiration. But because the new bands pretty much are doing the same thing too, just like the Nocturnals. They've got to be going back and listening to Allman Brothers and stuff like that, because that's where they're getting their influence from. That's what they sound like. And so you'll always go back and listen to the old stuff.
Something like that, music in general is like a big loop. It always goes back to the early generations.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It goes in a full circle and comes back around and does it again.
And no matter what, music will never, repeat itself, would you say?
Yeah, actually, it will. Some music will repeat itself. Like there'll always be country. Well, country music will always be up for a while, popular, then it'll go down. Then it'll come back up and be popular, and then it'll go down and not be popular for a while. It's just, I don't know. I'm hoping the same thing happens with rock. Pop is the thing right now, and I'm hoping rock will come back a little bit. But until it does, we'll just pop out for a while.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure talking to you and getting a breather on what you've been doing lately, and that's great.
Cool, man. Good talking to you too, Jason.
All right.
Check out my CD. I got a duet CD coming out with Bobby Kimball, like I said, he's singing for Toto, and I'm not sure. It's called Kimball Jamison, and it should be coming out really soon. So I think you'll really like it.
And is this going to be with Frontier Records?
Yeah, right.
You have a great evening.
Thanks, man.
All right.
See you later.